Have you ever just stared at a list of numbers, maybe sales figures or survey results or even your daily steps, and all you see is just a jumble? Yeah, finding the story that's hiding inside all that data can be a real challenge. So today, let's find it.
I mean, it's a huge question, right? Whether you're tracking your workout times or trying to make sense of customer feedback, that first step is always the same. You've got to find a way to simplify things, to spot a trend, to find the pattern that's hiding in there.
And to figure this out, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to deconstruct a sixth grade math lesson. And you might be asking, why? Well, because it breaks down two super powerful statistical tools, mode and range, with this brilliant simplicity that's actually useful for literally everyone. Okay, let's jump right in. Our first tool is all about finding the most common, the most frequent, really the most popular value you can find in any set of data. And it's called the mode, and honestly, it's that simple. If you've got a list of anything, the mode is just the one item that shows up more than all the others. You can just think of it as the winner of a popularity contest that's happening inside your data.
So let's use an example straight from this lesson. Imagine you've got a list of how many snacks were given out each day at a camp. The numbers are 3, 4, 4, 2, 5, and 4. At first glance, it's just a bunch of numbers, right? So how do we find the mode?
Well, the trick is to just bring a little order to the chaos. Let's just count them up. We see the number 2 shows up once, 3 is there once, 5 is also once. But hang on, look at the number 4. It appears 3 times. That's way more than any other number. And boom, there's our answer, 4. The mode is 4. Just like that, we've taken a totally random-looking list and found the most common pattern hiding inside. Okay, but you might be wondering, what happens if there's a tie? Or what if nothing ever repeats? Well, the lesson plan covers this perfectly. If two numbers are tied for being the most frequent, guess what? You just have multiple modes. And if every single number only shows up once, well then there's simply no mode at all. Easy. All right, so the mode tells us what's most popular. But that's only part of the story, right? What about the variety in the data? How far apart are all the values? And that brings us to our second tool. Meet the range. If the mode is all about popularity, the range is all about the spread. It gives you one single number that tells you how wide the gap is between your absolute highest value and your absolute lowest value. And calculating it is so easy. It's just a simple 3-step process. First, find the biggest number. Second, find the smallest number. And third, you just subtract the small one from the big one. That's it. Let's see it in action. So here's the next example from the lesson, the ages of some camp helpers. We've got a 9-year-old, a 14-year-old, 22, 18, and 11. To find the range, all we have to do is find the oldest and the youngest person in this group. So a quick scan tells us the maximum, or the highest age, is 22. The minimum, or the lowest age, is 9. So now we just set up our super simple subtraction problem, 22 minus 9. And the answer is 13. The range of ages is 13 years. See how powerful that is? That one number instantly tells you the entire age spread of the whole group. All right, now it's your turn. The best way to really learn this stuff is to just do it. The lesson plan actually includes some homework problems, so let's tackle one together right now. Here's the data set, 12, 16, 19, 10, and 14. So what's the range? Remember the steps, find the maximum, find the minimum, and then subtract. I'll give you a second. Did you get it? The highest number in that list is 19. The lowest is 10. So 19 minus 10 gives us a range of 9. Simple, powerful, and now you totally know how to do it. So we've pretty much nailed the how of it all, but the original lesson plan also includes the why. And to really understand our source material, we need to look at how it connects these math concepts to a much bigger idea. The source material presents what it calls a big idea. And that idea is that mode can help us see our commonalities, the most popular shared values, while the range can help us see the breadth of our differences, all within the context of a community. It's an interesting application of math to a social concept. And finally, to round things out, the lesson includes this Bible verse from Proverbs. From the curriculum's point of view, the author links the idea of using data for understanding to the idea of trusting in a higher wisdom when our own understanding just doesn't seem to be enough. So, Let's pull back and do a quick final summary. The mode, it finds what's most common. The range, it measures the spread. And together, they are just incredibly simple but really effective tools for finding that first layer of patterns in any data set you come across. And that leaves us with a final question for you. I mean, think about it. From the crisis at the grocery store to the songs on your playlist, data is literally everywhere. So now that you've got these tools in your back pocket, what simple hidden patterns are you going to uncover?